Hello everyone, it's Rocket Cat again. Today we're doing another Chinese build order, and this one is going to be professional scouts. The goal, of course, is to grab the hunt on the map, compete with other good professional scout civs like Mongols, French, and especially Rus. Tons of Rus on the ladder at the moment. It's looking like a very strong civ, so let's just get started. Here I start with a 5-1 split. I'm building the mill close to the TC, something I've been doing recently instead of traveling out to the mill. It's a matter of preference. I think there's downsides and upsides to having the mill this close versus out in your berries. For one thing, it's more defensible against any, for instance, early scout play by the Mongols. The travel distance between your TC for your Imperial official for dropping off tax is very short, so you can always stay supervising. Nevertheless, let's stick to the build. So we're gonna pop out one villager and go to food. We have 6 on food, and we're gonna pop out a scout. This scout is sort of optional. If you don't want the scout, you don't need it. Um, However, against Roos in particular, I like having this second scout just since the animation cancel change. Not being able to kill your hunts very quickly means in order to deny both your hunts, it's pretty essential, I'd say. Roosts tend to be dropping out more scouts these days in the Dark Age. So we're going to go up to 7 on food, and I'm going to speed the game up. We'll be returning tax as much as possible, and then head up to 2 on food. And the next one is going, the next 2 are going to go to gold. And these scouts are just going to be doing their best to deny hunts and so on and so forth. Grab sheep. Once we have 2 on gold, we put 3 on wood. And we go up to 8 on food. Now here, if you want, you can drop the Feudal Age landmark, which in this case is going to be the Academy. It doesn't have to be the Academy, but against Rus, for instance, they're often going FC. You don't really need the Barbican. Against Mongols or French, you probably want the Barbican first to protect your gold, because we do need to mine some gold to get professional scouts out. But nevertheless, this is my preferred play. Wait for this villager to pop out and build the academy with that villager. But you can also take a villager off your food, build the academy slightly earlier, have professional scouts up slightly earlier. But this method reduces the walking time a little bit. So he's going to build the academy here. And now we're going to go up to 5 on gold. And then we're going to get an Imperial official. The Imperial official is going to first grab the tax from the gold mine, and then it's going to return it, and it's going to come over and supervise the gold. We're going to grab the tax with this first IO from the lumbercamp as well. We have plenty of gold to work with now. This variation has extra gold built in because I want to eventually crank out Song, so I grab the 200 gold for Song. You don't have to follow up with Song. It's just how I prefer to play. And here we are, starting to ferry in our hunts. And that's the basics of the build. We age up. With this villager, we build the stable and put him on food. Here I'm rallying to wood. You can also rally to food if you want a faster castle, for instance, or you want a faster song. Here I'm putting out on wood just in case I want to drop in our archery range and do any kind of aggression. But it's totally up to you. Read the game state, decide what you want to do next, and rally your villagers accordingly. Okay, let's hop into live games. Okay, here we are on King of the Hill. And again, this is around 1500 ELO, and we're against Iron Age, who's quite a good Roost player. Faced him on ladder a number of times. And yeah, we're just going to execute the build here. We're not going to focus too much on it. We're going to reveal the map. And we see he's doing typical Roost things. He's going to basically be power building out the gatehouse to get professional scouts as fast as possible. And this is sort of a typical Roost professional scouts. Here we're just following the build. And let's move rather quickly. See, we're going up to 8. We're a little short on sheep, but that's okay. This one's coming out and building the academy, and then we're going up to 5 on gold and an IO. That's the build. We know it. So, yeah, not much to be said in this game. We simply are able to grab a decent amount of the hunts. You can see his professional scouts finish earlier than mine, but that's quite normal. And we're starting to ferry in some of the hunts. Now, in this variation, we choose to build the Barbican, and we go into Chukunu. And we grab a blacksmith as well because we're going to be aggressive. This is one option for playing into this Abbey of the Trinity style Rus FC. You can simply choose to take the fight to them with Chukunu, but this map wasn't great. It would be better if the wood line were in the front. Here he's building stables because he wants knights. So in this case, you certainly should grab a barracks. So he's able to clean it up. We are able to sort of harass his warrior monks a little bit. Nevertheless, he's quite successful in this map at collecting most of the relics, except for this one. So I'm not going to go over the rest. The goal here, again, was simply to be on equal terms with a Rus player. And we can see we're at 55 vils, and he is at 47. That's simply due to song. So we have that advantage going for us. We're aging up now. Pretty decent timing, all things considered. And we're going to simply go into a pretty normal looking castle age. And I'm going to win the sacred site in this case. Okay, on to the next match. Okay, so the next match is against Slurgi, who I've played quite a bit on ladder. Some days we just play games all day together because the matchmaking algorithm decides that we're perfectly matched, so it'll be even at least. And here we are on Lipany, and we're just going to execute the build again. He's going to do the same thing as Iron Age did on King of the Hill there. He's going to do the FC. Because horse archers are simply really good, so why not? So let's speed through the build. Now, the difference here is that his wood line is actually in the front. And this is going to be much better for the song transition, and we're going to start walling and relics, and this is a good way, when you're in Feudal Age still, against the Castle Age Rus, to prevent him from getting relics, that sort of thing. So this is a good way, I think, to play against Rus. Again, we're going up with the Academy because we're not worried about any of his shenanigans. Here we are, starting to ferry in the hunt. This is all pretty recognizable at this point. This ends up being a very long game, which I end up taking. He made the mistake of going mass siege against China, which opens you up to a rather devastating Fire Lancer transition, and that's what's happened here. So we're hassling him a little bit here. We're just delaying his age up a bit, just messing with his timings a bit. And here we are. He's reached Castle Age. I have 36 bills, and he has 29. That's the song advantage. We were able to grab at least half of the hunts, and now we're going to start ferrying Chokunu across the map, just poking and prodding him, try and reduce the amount of horse archers that he can pump out. So we've interrupted his wood harvesting and is rather low now on wood, so he's going to have a hard time cranking out his intended game plan, which is 4 range horse archers. And that's the goal here that I have is he of course wants to grab relics, so he's cranking these out. Nevertheless, it's not going to work out for him because I am going to start and I should have brought out a villager immediately upon starting this pressure to start walling in these relics, because he's actually going to get 4 of the relics in the end. But that's simply due to some misplay on my part. So I think Song and Chukunu, a bit of light Chukunu harass is a decent way to play against Rus, but you don't have to play it this way. Here is the villagers starting to. So in this case, he actually was able to come in and swipe it before I finished walling. Again, I should have had these villagers out a little bit sooner. And I have a villager coming over here to grab it, but he's going to be able to swoop in as well and grab it. So sending those villagers out just a little bit sooner is the way to go. And I'm not going to see this through to completion. But nevertheless, this is a decent way, I think, to play into Rus. A bit of professional scouts at the start, into Song, you end up with that villager advantage, and a bit of light harassment with your Chokanu. You don't need to transition to Song, you can go straight to Castle and fight them that way. That's the build. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Take care.